presentation of the Pro Wrestling Report. Informative, entertaining, and real since 1998.
Coming up next, it's the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night. We're going to do Be the Booker for this Sunday's TNA pay-per-view called Hardcore Justice. Also going to look back at WWE Raw, SmackDown, and also the Star of the Week, along with details on the 10 million views that the Pro Wrestling Report has achieved. The Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night starts right here, right now on My 24 in Milwaukee. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night right here on My 24 Milwaukee. Damian Nelson standing alongside David Octavius Tiberius, the I Don't Care Anymore hero. And it's time to go to Be the Booker, where we take a look at this Sunday, tomorrow night's Hardcore Justice pay-per-view from TNA Impact Wrestling. And let's go down the line, match by match, David, hero of the ones that are happening this Sunday. Firstly, it's a tables matchup. Jeff Hardy versus James Storm versus Bully Ray versus Robbie E. And in this matchup, the winner gets 20 points in the Bound for Glory tournament, and the leader, James Storm, is in this match.
You know, it's interesting. You got Jeff Hardy. He's been in TLC matches. You got Bully Ray, been in TLC matches. You got the Cowboy James Storm, who is the bar brawler. And then you got Robbie E. Robbie E is in a tables match.
Can we make a big announcement?
Sure.
Robbie E is going to be a part of the Pro Wrestling Report 10 million celebration. As we celebrate 10 million views on YouTube, Robbie E is going to be a part of it.
Is he really? You're bringing him in? That's fantastic. He's a star. He's a super friend. Robbie E has the least amount of points of everyone in this Bound for Glory series. The winner of this match gets 20 points. Robbie E needs to win this match. And I know there's a huge groan across, you know, the wrestling world right now that I'm saying Robbie E should win.
Bigger or smaller groan than when they read Nash's recent tweets?
Well, Kevin Nash, that's
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that's some other time. But Robbie E, least amount of points, he gets the win. He gets catapulted into the middle of this whole mess, this whole shenanigans. With that being said, that makes too much sense. I would pick Robbie to win, but I honestly believe James Storm is going to pull off the big victory, add more to his first place lead of points. But here's how it's going to happen if I'm booking it. Aces and eights are the ones that come out to make sure James Storm somehow beats Jeff Hardy, Bully Ray, and Robbie E, puts more doubt in the fans' minds as to, hey, is James Storm really involved in this group?
It's a ladder match. It is 4 men competing, again, for 20 points in the Bound for Glory series. AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, and Kurt Angle. And this one could be physical, to say the least.
Well, you got 4 guys that are wrestling machines. You got Styles, Daniels, and Joe that started the X Division in TNA Impact Wrestling. You got the machine Kurt Angle, who can do pretty much anything. AJ Styles has the least amount of points out of everyone in this match. The winner gets 20 points. You'd like to believe AJ would get the win, but let's not forget about his baby mama out there.
Oh.
She may somehow get involved because for some reason, AJ never got a restraining order against her, and she keeps showing up at every TV show. I would like to believe that Christopher Daniels somehow, with the help of the baby mama, leaves the winner of the ladder match.
Falls will count anywhere. Again, 20 points in the Bound for Glory series on the line. The participants, Magnus, the Pope, Ken Anderson, and Rob Van Dam, RVD. Falls count anywhere.
Well, right now, Mr. Anderson leads the point total for this group by a considerable margin over the Pope. RVD and Magnus, they're about the same in their mid-20s as far as their points. Ken Anderson in the 40s. The Pope in single digits. Falls count anywhere. Which one needs it? RVD? Ken Anderson? I'm going to go with Mr. Anderson. Why is that? Because Ken, even though he has 40 points, he's in the upper echelon of the group. He hasn't had that big win in quite a while. This is what he needs to get involved. RVD doesn't need it. The Pope, Listen, 20 points are only going to put him maybe 30. That's not going to be enough to get him anywhere. Magnus has had some great big victories on the road at house shows for the Bound for Glory series, but Ken Anderson's my pick to leave the winner of the Falls Count Anywhere match.
The X Division Championship will be on the line as Zema Ion defends against Kenny King.
A lot of confusion with Kenny King. Leaving Ring of Honor, comes up to TNA Impact Wrestling. The fact of the matter is this: the money match eventually is going to be Jesse Sorensen and Zema Ion.
Just got to wait.
Kenny King and Zema Ion will have some fantastic matches, but right now, this is where it has to be. Zema Ion's got a look. He's annoying. He's talented. And like I said, eventually, Zema Ion versus Jesse Sorensen.
Tag team matchup as Gunner and what? I can't even read your writing here. What is you trying to write? That's not an H. Gunner and Kid Cash team up to take on the tremendous team of Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez.
Interesting. I mean,
it's Super Mex and the Mex Warrior.
I love Gunner and Kid Cash as a tag team. I think they have that old school grit, Dick the Bruiser Crusher kind of look. They're just going to beat people up. Then you got Chavo, who is the high flyer. You got Hernandez, who's the big brute. You don't want to ruin a homecoming for Chavo or his debut on TNA pay-per-view. But if you don't let Gunner and Kid Cash get the victory, it defeats any purpose of putting these two guys together as a tag team. They need to get off on the right foot, get the ball rolling, get a big victory, cheat, lie, steal, whatever it's going to be. I like Gunner and Kid Cash to upset Chavo and Hernandez.
TNA Hardcore Justice. It's this Sunday on pay-per-view. And no, we didn't forget. There's one more matchup. It is the big main event. You can tune in on Sunday right before the pay-per-view, the pre-show, if you will. Sunday night, 6 o'clock p.m. at pwrshow.com and on YouTube to see what we think of this matchup, the World Heavyweight Championship on the line, Austin Aries defending against Bobby Roode. That's Be the Booker for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Still to come, though, here on the Pro Wrestling Report. We're going to talk about this past Monday's WWE Raw. We've got your touts in Interactive and also SmackDown, along with this week's Star of the Week. More details on the PWR 10 million view celebration coming up next week as well. All that still to come here on the Pro Wrestling Report, primetime Saturday night. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report, prime time Saturday night. Damian Nelson sitting here alongside David Hero, and now the Be the Booker is out of the way for this Sunday's Hardcore Justice on pay-per-view. We are going to talk about last week's, or this past Monday's, WWE Raw in this week's Raw Report. And Raw was capped off last week with one man, namely the Big Show, standing tall in the center of the ring over the WWE champion CM Punk and John Cena, courtesy of that weapon of mass destruction.
The Big Show is proving he is needed in this match.
How so?
Well, you know, John Cena, CM Punk versus John Cena. A one-on-one match would be great. Everyone forgot that the Big Show is involved. He's kind of been like the patsy, I guess, in this three-way match.
Oswald?
Absolutely, he has been. And it was frustrating watching Big Show and Randy Orton earlier in the night, where Big Show would push Randy Orton back and give him the chops. It's like, hey, you got the weapon of mass destruction. Why are you wasting your time with these chops? Knock the guy out. And that's exactly what he did with CM Punk and with John Cena. Big Show may not win the match at SummerSlam, but right now he is definitely a bigger part than what he was just 1 week ago.
CM Punk says again that he is demanding respect. He is going to be the man standing tall over Raw at the end of the night each and every week. And just before he said that is when he got knocked out. Just after he said that, rather, is when he got knocked out. But still some good work on the microphone from the WWE champion, CM Punk.
My question is, who is he demanding the respect from?
He went very close to saying he's done pandering to the fans. He went very, very close to saying
they respect him, they chant him, they cheer him, they love him, they buy his T-shirts, his action figures, his boxer briefs, his lunch boxes, everything.
You get him confused with The Miz.
Everything out there the fans are buying, and they're buying tons of it. You know, he was at Wizard World Chicago earlier today. The lines were ridiculously long. The fans love CM Punk. good guy, bad guy, it doesn't make a difference. I think the respect he's looking for has to come from within.
Oh,
maybe
self-respect?
Maybe it's not Jerry the King Lawler. Maybe it's not the fans, John Cena. But maybe CM Punk isn't pleased with the spot he pigeonholed himself in a year ago, accepting the fact that he was number 2 to John Cena for a year.
You can't recreate Austin McMahon.
No, there's no way.
But you could get close with Punk McMahon.
No.
The story's there. The
No
backstory
way.
is there. He's anti-establishment.
way.
The men
Here's the
in the
difference.
audience like him.
That was 10, 15 years
It
ago
was.
when Vinnie Mac could get in the ring, jacked up Vinnie Mac.
Yeah. But, I mean, still, the vocal disagreements and arguments that can go on between the two, I, for one, would be interested in seeing that.
Well, you know, I'm sure there's others that are out there, but at the end of the day,
You're still cynical.
no, I'm not cynical. I'm honest. That's the difference. The thing is that the fans will compare it to Austin McMahon, and
Not
Punk,
if it's done right.
It could be done perfectly, but at the end of the day, the fans are going to say, "Oh, well, Austin McMahon. It's the same thing as Austin McMahon, but it's not as good." CM Punk needs to distance himself with everything Stone Cold Steve Austin and just keep doing his own thing.
But he can keep doing his own thing, but his adversary, that person he's looking for respect from, could be Vince McMahon.
But Vince has nothing to do with it. Vince hasn't been a character on TV for quite some time.
The pipe bomb.
Yeah, that was it.
They can't refresh that, you don't think?
No, of course not.
Absolutely they can.
No.
Absolutely they can.
Who wants to go through that all again?
Wow.
Seriously.
When did you stop being a fan?
I am still a fan. I don't want to see Vince McMahon in another program. They have left Vince McMahon in the back. He's done. He'll come back for special appearances. Now he's going to be the babyface, the good guy, shaking hands, WrestleMania, that whole kind of thing. But Vince McMahon has no reason whatsoever, especially as long as his wife is in politics, to have an on-air role in any type of feud whatsoever.
As we continue to
And
talk about
that's the bottom
WWE
line.
Raw, the matchup between Triple H and Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam got a bit more interesting as Shawn Michaels in his hometown of San Antonio announced that he will be in Triple H's corner for that big matchup. And Brock Lesnar left us wondering what he has in store for Shawn Michaels before SummerSlam.
Why does Shawn Michaels have to be in Triple H's corner?
Well, why not?
Please. That match alone should sell tickets. You don't need Shawn Michaels to be involved. Unless Shawn Michaels plans on getting F5'd by Brock Lesnar.
I don't think he's going to be there.
Why?
I think Brock's going to take him out before.
Well, I hope so, because Shawn Michaels is not that kind of special attraction where he's going to be like the Gilligan to the Skipper. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what he's becoming right now. Has been one of the greatest in-ring performers of all time has now become a sidekick to Triple H.
One man who is no longer going to be a sidekick, especially after that video we saw this past Monday night on Raw, and a man who returned to the ring just before SmackDown this past Friday night, Wade Barrett. The Barry Barrage is back, and by God, I can't wait.
You know what? And Wade Barrett is a rock star. He's got a great look. He's my pick to win NXT Season 1. And he's a super friend. I mean, he's a great addition. Hopefully they'll use him the right way, get some gold around his waist sooner rather than later, and go forward with it with this young guy.
You can hear much more about our thoughts on WWE Raw by going to pwrshow.com and checking out Monday Night Meltdown. We do a live radio show each and every Monday night, 10 o'clock p.m., right after WWE Raw. You can find out all of our thoughts and opinions on everything else that happened on Raw, including Daniel Bryan being a star this past Monday night. That available right now at pwrshow.com. But what also, speaking of the interwebs, it's time to go to this week's interactive, David Hero, and we solicit questions from the audience.
Are you talking about that tout gimmick again?
Yeah. Fan video.
Listen, all the touts that I saw were anti-super friendly. It was all burying Kevin Nash, his comments about, you know, a former world champion and Eddie Guerrero, and
more on that later.
Talking to Paul Fix, he didn't think that stuff was appropriate, so he thinks I should bring back some more shenanigans.
What?
Well, you know, not all the video aired of you in the streets of St. Louis.
Yeah, it did.
And there was one more that we forgot.
Not that one.
So, courtesy of Paul.
It's not.
We cleaned it up, but Andy, please roll the tape. Damian Nelson, the streets of St. Louis, shenanigans.
I'm going on top of the arch today. Hey, it's Cody. Hey guys. How much? You guys enjoy the show today? Were you there? I know Cody Rhodes wasn't there, but other than that, was it a good show? Good. What's your favorite part?
Suck it.
Oh.
DX.
What kind of business is happening here? I mean, we just met.
I'm fine with that. You saw her. They wanted this.
Oh,
I got propositioned, and there was no money discussed.
You put the D in DX. There's no question about it.
David Hero,
yes.
Wednesday night, August 15th, next week. It's a milestone episode of the Pro Wrestling Report. It is a celebration that, I mean, if you only knew, ladies and gentlemen, if we could only tell you what we have planned for
There's been a lot of efforting going on.
The big episode next Wednesday. Spoiler-free zone. We're not going to spoil it for you, but what we will tell you is we're celebrating our 10 millionth view on YouTube. 10 million people, David Hero, has sat on their computers and watched me for the last 6 years and listened to my voice croon them and swoon them.
Put them to sleep and everything. Absolutely.
10 million on YouTube alone. It'll be a big celebration Wednesday night, 7 o'clock p.m.
10 million.
PWRshow.com.
That's a lot of clicks.
That is a lot of clicks. And
we couldn't get
it will be
a penny or 2 pennies for each view?
No. It will be a star-studded affair, ladies and gentlemen. We've got some special surprises, some neat things in store for you, so you want to be sure to check that out. PWR 10 million. Hashtag PWR 10
And it's only available online, correct, this one?
The
PWR
debut
show?
broadcast will be online initially, correct, yes. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock p.m., PWRshow.com. It's one you don't want to miss. It's a celebration, not of us, but a celebration of you, our great viewers.
Oh, but celebrate us first. Right? Let us have the cake.
Our guests are going to do that.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
It's going to be epic. That's next Wednesday night, PWR 10 million. Fascinating that has happened. And with that, we're going to take a time out. And when we come back, we are going to talk about this week's SmackDown, which was on air last night, and also this guy's Star of the Week. Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night continues right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report. Primetime Saturday night. Damian Nelson and David Hero sitting here on, what? Is there something in my ear? Is there a bug in there?
No.
Do you see that birdie?
You know, I was thinking.
Well, we haven't talked about the white elephant in the room, Kevin Nash's comments from a few days ago. We had a chance to speak to Nash, spend some time with Nash just a couple of days ago. And that's all we're going to say right now.
Yeah,
I stay far away from controversy, ladies and gentlemen.
And the Nash interview that we did has to get cleared by the offices first, because I'm not. Listen.
If it is cleared, Kevin Nash could be a big part of PWR 10 million.
Exactly. And you know what? It's interesting, not shocking, but it's Kevin Nash doing what Kevin Nash does.
He's got a perspective.
Oh, yeah.
WWE SmackDown just last night on Sci-Fi. It was another bad night for the endorsed talents of the Nelson family, but we all have our bad weeks, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start, though, with the Sheamus ADR drama. Alberto Del Rio files charges, contacts the police. Booker T finds Sheamus, and then the police are involved in the matchup that never happened between Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio at the end of SmackDown. But Del Rio facilitates a beatdown on Sheamus. Del Rio stands tall at the end of SmackDown.
And it makes perfect sense. They have to make ADR stronger than Sheamus going into SummerSlam. And that's what he's been doing.
Because you still say he has no chance, does ADR?
I don't think ADR has a chance to beat Sheamus. Why? Because Sheamus is the guy on SmackDown right now. He is their babyface. He is their top star. Randy Orton is back. Yes, he's back. But the thing is Sheamus has 0 wellness policy violations as opposed to the 2 already against Randy Orton. They're not going to invest heavily into Orton At least not right now.
Oh, Randy Orton got a good win over Jack Swagger in a very quick matchup this week. Little victory dance around the ring.
But Jack Swagger, you know what? He hasn't meant anything in forever.
He's a former world heavyweight champion.
I was impressed to see Zack Ryder on SmackDown.
Zack Ryder was indeed on SmackDown this week. And, well, here's the thing. Let's just glaze over that. And
what did he do again?
That's
exactly.
Rey Mysterio, though, does get a win over The Miz. And it looked to me like Rey had a handful of tights when he was pinning The Miz.
Of course it looked like that to you. But why can't you just say The Miz was not the better man? Wait.
I can say that Dolph Ziggler was the better man over Chris Jericho in the highlight reel.
Was The Miz's match against Ray a non-title match?
Yes.
You know the guy is never going to win then. They put the belt on The Miz, the Intercontinental title, one of the greatest titles in the history of pro wrestling.
Thanks to the Honky Tonk Man and Cody Rhodes.
Held by greats like Pat Patterson,
Cody Rhodes,
Don Morocco, Tito Santana, the Macho Man Randy Savage, the Ultimate Warrior, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Cody Rhodes.
They put it on The Miz.
How dare you?
And he hasn't won a match since.
How dare you?
What do you mean?
About? They put it on The Miz.
They did.
He's a former WWE champion, former WrestleMania headliner.
Yes.
He is a big force in this business.
Lawrence
and
Taylor
you sit here,
is also a former WrestleMania headliner. What has he been doing lately? Not a whole lot.
Oh, he's been busy.
Mm-hmm.
Shenanigans, I guess you could say. You're full of hate. But we're moving on to Dolph Ziggler, who knocked out Chris Jericho after attacking him from the crowd during the highlight reel segment. The match is made for SummerSlam now, Ziggler versus Jericho. Now, if you read the internet reports, Chris Jericho's not going to be any part of SummerSlam.
Oh, he's going to be there.
No. His Fozzy tour, his last commitment.
Yeah, but I'm sure that SummerSlam is right in between.
The match is made.
And that's going to be a great match. It's going to be the finishing school for Dolph Ziggler.
Use that a lot.
Because it's the truth.
The truth is also that it was not Ryback who got the handicap squash victory this week. It was Jinder Mahal, but that brought Ryback out, who was not pleased that Jinder was ganking his gimmick.
Huh?
Ganking his gimmick. Gank. Like I just ganked that. Sure. I just ganked this.
Okay. Be careful. That's an antique. Jinder Mahal, God bless him, they're bringing him in and giving him something.
Nothing but heavy breathing on that thing.
Well, it's Linda. It's the direct line to Linda Kay. Be careful how you use that.
Vegetable.
But it's Jinder Mahal. He hasn't meant anything either. Listen, there's so many.
What is it going to take to get you to be a fan again, David Hero?
I am.
What is it? What can I do? Who can I bring on this show to get you to be a fan again? What needs to be done? On Monday Night Meltdown, you were very, very disappointed. On this episode, you're not happy with anything. What has happened to you? Do you need to be replaced? Do I need to get Eisenberg in here? Do I need to get Meathead in here? Do I need to get the Kaz in here?
I think
you need some time off.
Yes. Yes, I think Meathead would do
Vacations are not paid,
They're not?
No. You're no Wolf Blitzer.
Of course not. I'm not getting. Okay.
That's as far as I'm going to intervene in your negativity.
No. It's not negative. It's just they have so much talent and they're not using it properly. And you know that to be true. 3-hour show on Raw. Did they use the guys that they have? No, they didn't. That I'm going to save for another rant some other time.
Let's try this. Maybe you could find one shining light of the week and select and share with the audience who this week's star of the week is.
Shining light, huh?
One shining light.
How about that glowing yellow light? The wrestler from Mexico, Sin Cara. He is this week's PWR star of the week with the impressive victory over your guy.
What was it, 2 minutes?
Cody Rhodes.
Cody was distracted by his mask.
The former
Cody had flashbacks to when his face got crushed
IC
and he couldn't concentrate in the matchup.
Cody Rhodes and Sin Cara. Sin Cara leaves the winner, beating the endorsed Cody Rhodes. Good shining light. Gold shining light.
Wednesday night, ladies and gentlemen, it's our celebration of 10 million views on YouTube. And yeah, just in case you didn't know, watching us here on TV in Milwaukee on My24, you have the opportunity to watch the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime twice a week. Wednesday night, we're bringing you another episode. This past Wednesday, we talked in-depthly about Brock Lesnar's utilization in WWE. That's all available at pwrshow.com. But before you do that, it's a big wrestling show coming to town on Saturday, August 18th, the night before SummerSlam.
1 week from today, Circle B, Wisconsin, Highway 60 in Cedarburg. Hurricane Shane Helms will touch down.
So a hurricane.
Kid-
Does he have a shirt yet?
Of
Nelson
course
family?
No, he has a Super Friends shirt. You haven't seen it? It's fantastic.
I've seen that shirt, actually.
It's gonna-
And since apparently we do shenanigans around here, wait till next week.
Oh, I can
I'm
only
talking
imagine.
to Paul as soon as we're done
Yeah.
here.
And go to
Many uses for that shirt.
blizzardbrawl.com. Tickets for kids start at $5. Hurricane Shane Helm, Cedarburg. And then the following night, live at Karma Bar and Grill, 600 East Ogden Avenue, SummerSlam for free.
Free. No charge. Is there a
No
cover charge?
There's no cover charge.
Is there a drink minimum?
No.
Is there a food minimum?
No.
And what's the location?
600 East Ogden
How much
Avenue.
is parking?
Free parking. And Hurricane Shane Helms will, in fact, be there with an opportunity for
But wait, there's more? Shane Helms will be there?
Shane Helms.
Man, isn't it good to be a wrestling fan in Milwaukee and to have the Pro Wrestling
I'm
Report?
not that negative. I bring joy to young boys and their fathers all over the world.
That's Sunday at Karma Bar and Grill, next Sunday anyways, for SummerSlam. So watch it with Sugar Shane Helms. And check out all that WWE has to offer on pay-per-view for free. And let's not forget, Raw comes to Milwaukee's Bradley Center on Monday, August 27th. You can join us in the suite. We're going to be dead center in the middle of the arena in a suite, and you can join us. Tickets available right now, pwrshow.com. Only $60 each, David Hero.
That's a steal.
$60
And
each
you
get
get
you
to sit
into the
in the
event
suite.
and in a suite. And if you're lucky, you get to have a shot or two with Linda Kay. If last time we had a suite at the Bradley Center is any indication,
Oh, my God.
there will be. Did you invite that kid, that Mike Wickett
Mike
kid
Wickett?
from Sports Radio WSSP?
Yes, Mike Wickett will actually be there.
You didn't give him a ticket yet, did you?
No, of course not.
Fantastic. There are no more available for comps because our great fans need to purchase them. $60 each, pwrshow.com. We will see you yet again on Monday night for the Meltdown. And then the celebration on Wednesday, 10 million. Let me tell you this, and I tell you this with all sincerity from the bottom of my heart.
That's a
You do not,
bottomless pit of
you do not want to miss the 10 million view celebration. Pro Wrestling Report Primetime. David Hero, it will be, beyond a shadow of a doubt, our biggest episode ever. And that's as far as I'm going to go.
Yeah, please,
biggest episode
please.
ever. Stay tuned to pwrshow.com for announcements all week next week about our guests on PWR 10 million. That's this week's show. Thank you so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you again soon here on the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime, right here on My 24 Milwaukee.